Hi folks, and welcome back. I'm out here in a new woodland today, and I'm glad to be out. It's been a difficult couple of weeks, but I'll talk a bit more about that later. I'm out for the night. I've got permission to camp here in this lovely broadleaf woodland here, so I'm gonna find myself a nice place to set up. I've got my swag with me, so I know I'll have a good night's sleep tonight. Yeah, super comfortable this thing, but it is a bit on the bulky side, a bit heavy to carry too far, but I've managed to drive into the woodland, so yeah, I'm gonna have a little hunt around, find a good spot to set up. Well, I'm all set up. I've got my tarp set up as a lean-to, but just got the top quarter of the tarp pulled back down again, just to give me a bit of rain cover. We are due for some rain later. There is forecast for rain, so I just wanted to have a bit of an area where I could sit in the dry. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my fire underneath it. I think it'll be too close to my swag, but at least I can sit out of the weather, which would be good. Yeah, I've got my swag. Really looking forward to a good night's sleep in there. It's super comfortable. Love that thing. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with regards to setting up. I'm going to go and gather up some firewood in a minute. I can obviously use bits and pieces that are lying on the ground. There's a few dead standing trees, and there's branches and things that are caught up, including one massive one right next to me, which yeah, looks like that could come down at any day. Obviously not going to cut that up, it's massive, but yeah, there's plenty of wood around, loads of oak, so gonna have a good nice hot fire tonight. It'll be fantastic. got my firewood cut. I've got some small pieces to get things going, then some kind of medium size bits, and then some oak, lots of good oak, so I can have a nice hot fire. I've also lifted my tarp up by wrapping it over the log at the back of my shelter so that I can get my swag a little bit closer back to that log, and it gives me a bit more area at the front here so that I can have my fire underneath the tarp. I'll make sure it's not too big a fire, but we are about to have some rain, quite heavy rain by the looks of the forecast, so I want to make sure I'm, you know, under cover. I've got a whole load of birch bark here, which I've just scavenged off a dead silver birch tree. It's all that nice thin paper bark, which will be just the job. Some of it's a bit damp, but there's quite a lot of nice dry stuff in amongst it. So I'm just going to make a little nest of it on here, break it up a little bit. Hopefully that'll take a spark nicely. There we go. Bang. Give that a brace there. Well, we're just starting to get the first few drops of rain on the tarp. So I managed to get everything done just in the nick of time. The fire's lit, everything's organised, my firewood's under the tarp, and I'm going to get dinner on the go because I am starving. I had an early lunch today. I had lunch before I set off to get up here. It's about an hour and a half's drive to get up here, so I ate before I came up, so I'm proper hungry. I'm going to have trout for dinner. I'm really excited. I've got a rainbow trout here that a friend of mine caught, so I'm really looking forward to that. I love trout, nice and oily, delicious, and I'm going to cook that on my spit just next to the fire so that any of the fat just drips onto the ground and not onto the fire so it doesn't flare up, you know. I don't want my fish to burn. I just want it to cook nicely. And then I'm going to have rice with it. So I've got some rice, I've got stock, I've got a couple of shallots, so that should be really nice and tasty to have with my fish. So this is the spit roaster I'm going to use. This is one of Trevor's, TJM Metalworks. I've got one of his bigger spits, but it's quite a big thing at this sort of size, and you know, it's not as easy to pack. This is like a much more compact version of the same thing, so it's going to be ideal for my fish, I think. You know, about the right size, but it's big enough to do a chicken or something like that on for sure, and obviously being smaller, much more packable, which is why I've got it. So here's my slippery fish. I'm just going to slide that through, try and jab that in there so that it grips. There we go. Now I'll stay put while I turn it. Just the job. I'm going to chop up my shallots. I hate peeling shallots. I don't know what it is about them, but they are always more awkward, I guess because the skin is much thinner than a normal onion. A bit of oil in my billy pot here. The shallots are nice and soft, so in with the rice. A little mix up. And I've got a stock pot here, a chicken stock pot. And it goes. And water. Well, while I wait for the rice and the trout to cook, I'm going to have a beer. I've got 2 bottles of beer with me, kindly given to me by James, who owns this woodland. Not only does he own a fantastic, gorgeous bit of paradise in central Norfolk, he's also a brewer for Beeston Brewery. So he's given me 2 bottles of Beeston beer. The first one here is worth the wait, and this is their best seller apparently. Ooh, that is good. Let's get into this fish. Oh yes. That is the colour that trout should be. That is lovely. That was amazing. That fish was absolutely delicious and huge. I'm stuffed. That was as good as a bit of meat any day. Well, I think it's fair to say this rain is pretty much set in, and it's supposed to be like this till tomorrow morning now, till sort of 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. But it's nice and dry under the tarp. It's keeping all the rain and weather off. My fire is underneath the shelter of the tarp, so all is good. Yeah, quite cosy and comfy under here actually. Just having my second beer, a very nice IPA. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy this fire for a bit. Well, it's gone 10 o'clock, and as you all know, that's my bedtime. I've just made myself a hot chocolate with just a little drop of black rum. Very nice it is too. It's been a nice evening. I've really needed this. It's been a horrendous couple of weeks actually. The last 2 weeks. As most of you know, we lost Maggie, my faithful, lovely, fluffy Maggie, and it's been hard. Yeah, it's been really, really tough for us all. Yeah, and that's the reason I haven't had any videos out for the last few weeks. I've just, needed a bit of time to come to terms with things really, and get used to the big hole that she left behind. Yeah, it's not been easy, that's for sure. Thank you all for for the lovely comments and the wishes and the thoughts. Yeah, I haven't been able to respond to them all. There's just been so many of them, but I have read through them, and they've been a huge comfort. So thank you. Yeah, it's. I knew the day would come, you know. He's an old dog, but yeah, nothing quite braces you for when it actually happens. That's for sure. So yeah, this camp was definitely needed. Been nice to get out beneath the trees again, and even in the rain. It's been lovely. Yeah, a campfire, some good grub. That fish was unbelievably good. Yeah, really delicious. A couple of very, very nice beers, and all rounded off with a hot chocolate. Perfect. Perfect. The tarp keeps dumping pools of water. It's what that noise is in the background. I'm going to get my hot chocolate finished off and crawl into my pit. Yeah, looking forward to a good night's sleep. I always sleep well in this swag. It's very comfortable. I don't know what it is about it. The thick canvas maybe. It's warm, it's cosy. It's got a thick mattress inside. It's very, very comfortable. And yeah, I always sleep very, very well. So that should be just the old job. Yeah, good bit of kit, and then up for breakfast in the morning. Good night, folks, and I'll see you in the morning. Morning, folks. I had a really good, comfortable night's sleep. I did wake up a couple of times with the rain. As they predicted it rained all night, and the rain was pooling a bit on the tarp, so every now and again it would release itself and all fall to the floor, you know, in a big gush, which woke me up a couple of times. But yeah, really comfortable, and I've woken up this morning with no backache or anything. I was able to get straight up out of bed and put my boots on, which is is normally a bit of an ordeal in the mornings, even at home. So yeah, I slept well. Got my fire lit this morning. I'd saved a few twigs and things from lighting the fire yesterday, so it was easy enough. And I just used a bit of fat wood to get it lit. And yeah, very nice. This coffee is going down well. I haven't got huge amounts of time this morning. I need to get away from here because I'm going to meet up with another chap, Josh, who you may have come across. He has a channel, Camping with Josh. He's from Yorkshire, and we're going to meet up a bit later on for a camp. But I need to obviously get back home and get things sorted out for that camp, and then get off to where I'm meeting him. So I haven't got huge amounts of time, but I have got enough time to cook some breakfast. Just a simple breakfast of bannock this morning. So I'll get on with that in a minute. I'll bake that in my billy tin, in my billy can. So that should be just the job. Yeah. There is water dripping on the tarp this morning, but I think it's just residual from the trees, just dripping off the trees. Literally, I think it has actually stopped raining, but that'll probably continue dripping for a little while. But that's all right. There's nothing quite like the sound of water dripping on a tarp. This is my bannock mix. I just mix this up at home. It's all dried ingredients. So I've got a cup of plain flour in there, a handful of dried fruit, a handful of dried milk, sugar, about a tablespoon of sugar, a little bit of salt, and I've also got some chocolate chips in there as well. So that should be really nice. Is there anything else I've missed? So I'm just going to add some water into this and just mix it in the bag so I don't get it all over my fingers. Got to be careful here not to add too much water, so a little bit at a time, because you don't want a sloppy bannock mix. So looking for something reasonably firm that you can kind of handle in your hands without it sticking to your fingers. And this is what we're looking for, a kind of stiff dough. Could have had perhaps a drop more water, but I think that'll be okay. And then just mix it up in your hands. You see, it's not really sticking to my hands anymore. A little bit in places, but not too bad. Lovely little sweet hits from the dried fruit. I think there were currants I put in it, currants or sultanas maybe, I can't remember. And then the gooey sweetness from the chocolate chips. Well, that's me all packed away and tidied up. I went and got a jerry can of water from the Land Rover to douse that fire. So it's well and truly out, and I've cleared it all up and covered it over, and there's nothing to see apart from a dry patch where my tarp was. So all back to how it should be. It's been a really nice camp. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I needed it. Yeah, some really good food. That trout last night was unbelievable. Washed down with a couple of very nice beers, and the bannock this morning was just the job. Yeah, that went down well. So I'm gonna grab my swag and head off back to the Land Rover. The nice thing about packing up with a swag is everything just rolls up inside it. It's really easy to pack up. My sleeping bag and everything stays inside. Just put all your other bits in it and roll it up, clip it together, and off you go. Really, really easy. I wouldn't want to carry it far, but it's definitely easy set up and take down, that's for sure. But it's time to head off so I can go and meet up with Josh for my next camp. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.